Hi everyone, this is the third video of topic 8 for about sustainability. So this one's actually quite a quick one about sustainable design. So it's a little bit more about design. Um, so the overall goal is about this philosophy, social, economic, and ecological. I think I've heard that before. I wonder what that one is. Maybe somebody else can tell me what that is. So for this one, actually, it's just kind of the difference between green design and sustainable design, and talking about the time scale as well too. Maybe I put that in bold. Well, no, I'll just tell you and then remember it. And then it's also about this thing that's I believe it's called Tchaikovsky's 5 principles of sustainable design. Actually, and I want to move this one around too, just so that you understand. There we go. That's a little bit better. Okay. So, and it's quite quick, and like I said, there's not a whole lot with this one. Oops, I'll leave it like that. So green design versus sustainable design. So if you remember when we did green design, which was topic 2.5, so green design was a lot more about there was these specific strategies. So about consumption of raw materials, packaging, end of disposal, product methods, atmospheric pollutants, and then there was other things for like drivers with legislation, as well as consumers was another thing too that was like a bit of a driver for. Where's the consumers one? That one's legislation. This one's consumers. So that was with green design, and then if you remember, we did a little activity. Seems like some of you didn't quite finish it all, but then we did another activity that was about these like strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So there's like toxic materials or this consumption of raw materials, packaging isn't good. So here's little parts of that, those objects that are related to these strategies. So the biggest thing, the like main kind of point is that green design is related to the product, okay? Whereas sustainable design, and see, this is, I don't know why the IB does this, but they did. Eco design is very similar to green sustainable design because it's a lot more about the process. It's a little bit more holistic, and it does take a little bit longer to achieve. So sustainable design is probably closer to eco design because they're also considering some of those things like public health, welfare, environment, that triple bottom line. Okay, so here's a couple of points. This one is about that long-term effect of the environment. This one is about that it's considering everything, right? So triple bottom line, TBL. This is about research and development. So it takes a lot longer because again, they have to think about the entire process versus green design is really just focusing on that design of particular products. Okay. So then here's this guy, Tchaikovsky's, I'm going to just call him Tchaikovsky. Tchaikovsky's 5 principles. So he has one is about cyclical, so where it's that, going around and around and around and around. Solar, so trying to use clean energy, hopefully, and he refers specifically to solar. Safe, so making sure it's harmless. Efficient, so using less material. Again, we've heard this before, dematerialization, less energy, less water, so looking at that environmental matrix. Environmental impacts assessment matrix, and then social. So can't forget about caring for people. Again, that's part of that triple bottom line too. Okay, so here's a couple of products that are considered, and see they're based on these 4. There's 4 of them, even though he's got 5, but we'll just put 4 down for now. So there's the cyclical, there's the solar. Oh, the reason why you can't do the 5th, which is social, is because you don't know enough background about the social aspect, how it's made. Okay, so here's about this biocutlery. It doesn't really reduce energy, but it does very cyclical because this can be composted and returned back to the earth. Music that's made with MP3s, little waste, so you don't need like CD players or tape players or cassette players. It doesn't use as much energy. Same thing as some of those cassette players or those players. There's no materials because it's actually like a product. This is kind of tricky though, right? Because there's a lot of actual things that came behind it. If they thought about the embodied energy in music, it may be a little bit more. But anyway, another question, another example. So these biological pens. So this actually, it's negative on the efficiency because you can't use the ink as long as you can in some of those other ones. So it's not very efficient with the material usage, but it is a compostable material. No emissions from the oils because it's all biological, and then it's also they use solar power to actually run the manufacturing plants. Okay, so here's a different. This looks like it's not Apple iTunes, haha, typo in their book. It's actually this Volkswagen. Oh no, yeah, that's from the top. This is this Volkswagen. So more recyclable parts, so that's a little high. Big improvements on fuel efficiency, so they're trying to think about some of those ones, biodiesel as well too, to make it more efficient in that solar, the use of renewable resources. Okay, so here are those 5 things. And your task, so in the form there's a couple of questions, but your task is to copy and paste this slide, and I want you to try to do the same thing as slides 5 and 6. Find a product, find 2 products, the name of it and photograph of it, and then also just fill these in. If you go up here and then you fill it in, you can use any of these green colors, and you can put whichever one it is, and then just say, oh, wrong one. Here's the paint bucket. So how green is this product that you find? Okay, so you should be able to do that, and here's space for a little bit of a description. And yeah, so give your name, and then after you're done with that, what you're going to do is you will take a screenshot of it, because what you're going to do is you're going to, inside of the form, you're going to upload that screenshot as part of the form for this topic. Okay, so that's it. It's actually quite quick. And if you've got questions, leave them below or feel free to ask, and talk to you soon. Thanks, everybody.